Hello, welcome to the Joni factory in Denmark. Today I want to explain you more about the AT56 controller. Here you have the on-off buttons. To activate the unit, you press this button and then all the functions in the LED in the display will pop up to show that they're active. In case of emergency, there is an emergency button down here. In the right bottom corner, you have the standby button. This will cut off the power to the controls, so it's like a soft standby. To activate the unit again, you press the button. In the left top corner, you can see the temperature control. In this case, the food temperature. You can alter this by pushing the button and then change with the big arrows per 10 degrees or with the small arrows a single-digit degree. Whilst it's blinking, you can change. The right button is the heating steps, the heating intensity, or delta T as some people call it. That you can change with the small arrow buttons, and this is to change the heating intensity. So if, like for instance, you're boiling potatoes, you want to go as fast as possible, you set it to 9, but if you have like a bechamel sauce or products with rice, like rice pudding, or in Asia for instance congee, then you set it lower because otherwise your food might burn. So now it will heat up a little bit slower, but it is a little bit less aggressive and therefore your food will not burn so easily. To activate the heating, you push this button and the green LED will indicate that the heating has started. You always see the current temperature of the food in the display, and the end temperature, if you want to see it, you just push the button and that will indicate the end temperature that we want to reach. The second line of the controller is the mixer. The left button is the speed. The right button is the mixer patterns, of which we have 7 in total. To alter the speed, you press the left button, and then whilst it's blinking, you can change the speed depending on the program you've chosen. To change the mixer pattern, you press the button to the right there, and then you can see it starts blinking. With the small arrows, you can change from the cleaning program, for instance, up to mixer program 6. And depending on the food that you're cooking, you have different patterns that is ideal to use. So some are alternating, some are going only in one direction. So it's really depending on the food you're cooking, which is described in the manual also to give you an idea what to use for whichever product you're using. To activate the mixer, you press the button behind it, and then the green LED will light up and the mixer is rotating. So whilst you're mixing your food, you have the possibility to open the inspection hatch at the top of the lid, and then whilst you're mixing your food, you can add ingredients through the safety grid. So your salt, your pepper, whilst you're mixing your food. The third line of the controller is the water filling. To add water to the unit, you press the button, and in this case a U20 arrow lights up. It means that we're trying to add water whilst the lid is still closed, which is not ideal. So you open the lid and then you press the button, and then the unit will indicate how much water is being added via the spout that you see here. So the water is being poured in via there. With the colander, you can set the right amount per 1/10 of a liter of water that you want to have added. You activate the water filling via this button, and then the water will spout out also into the bowl itself. The fourth line, which you see here at the left bottom, is the programming option. There you can program up to 150 different programs which are already preset, where you can change the parameters with optional ice water chilling also that you can have connected to these units. So you can do overnight cooking, for instance. You can do different kind of cycles, and you have every time the same quality of food because of the programs that are in there. Very easy to use. The tilting mechanism you see at the left bottom here. To activate the tilting, you press the top button and the lower button to tilt it all the way back. The unit can tilt over 90 degrees, so you can fully empty it. Here you can see the buttons to activate the chilling or back to the heating again. So what you have to do, if you have the optional ice water chilling system, which is very good for your cook and chill kitchens, You just push the button for 5 seconds and it will automatically switch over. After the chilling cycle, you can go back to heating by pushing the heating button for 5 seconds. Now the heating is activated. You find the slow mix button now here at the lower part of the controller. The mixer can also run when the unit is in a normal horizontal position. Optionally, you can have a foot pedal with the kettle. This is, for instance, to take over the function of the tilting mechanism, which is activated via the button in the control. But then I can push the foot pedal and my foot pedal is taking over the tilting mechanism. So I have both hands free to have a gastronome container in my hands and hold it below. The foot pedal can not only do the tilting, but it can also take over the slow mix function, and it can also take over the water filling. With your kettle you can have different accessories. Like here, for instance, you see the tool trolley with different kinds of accessories. Ideally, the tool trolley you use for transporting your accessories from the dishwasher to the kettle and the other way around. Here you see, for instance, the whipping tool, which can be used for whipping up egg whites or cream. Here you have a sieve plate that you can put on top of the kettle. Whilst you're emptying your kettle, the water will go out and the potatoes, for instance, stay inside of the kettle. To clean the inside of the mixer tool, we have a special brush that can go in there and then you can easily clean the inside. For cleaning the kettle itself, we have a special cleaning tool, which you see here. This is a special cleaning tool that you can put in instead of the normal mixer tool, and then you can clean the unit easily with very little water and very little detergent, and very fast without doing a lot of work by the chefs. Another accessory that you can have with your kettles is the pouring assist. This you can mount to the pouring lip of the kettle, and then whilst you're tilting the kettle, the water or food will be automatically poured into your gastronome container, which you can put on this part of the pouring assist. Then you can put your gastronome containers in the trolleys. You can use your pouring assist as a small table by mounting it the opposite way, and then you can put a gastronome container, for instance, you can put on top and have your ingredients there and use the slow mix button and add your ingredients and mix your food at the same time. Especially on bigger kettles, it's interesting to have a rotatable lid, as you can see here. So you can access the whole lid from the front, clean it easily without having to go behind your kettle. Especially if there's a limited space, it can be very good to have. This is all you need to know about the controller. In case you have any further questions, please check the manual first and see what is described in there. If you have any questions afterwards, feel free to contact your local dealer.